What if your dream home vaulted ceilings, a designer kitchen, a porch that wraps the whole house didn't cost $500,000? Today we're building one for real, down to the last stud, the last steel beam, and the last dollar. And by the end, you'll have an actual line item budget and the engineering decisions behind it, not just pretty pictures. If you're into barndos and smart small footprint builds, subscribe and stick around. Let's get into it. A barndominium started life as an agricultural building, a steel or wood post frame structure. The same system used for barns and pole buildings, finished out to residential standard. Today they blend that steel frame construction with genuinely modern design, and in the right market, a well-planned build can land under $150,000. Here's the part most people miss, though. The secret isn't spending more, it's building smarter. Open floor plans and vaulted ceilings make a modest footprint feel enormous. For this video, we're designing a 1,400 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath barndominium, and pricing every single piece of it. Alright, let's get into how this actually gets engineered, because this is the part most barndo videos skip entirely. Choosing the structural system first, big decision. Post frame or red iron. Post frame construction uses large timber posts, commonly 6x6 or 6x8, set deep into concrete footings, with roof trusses and wall girts tying directly into the posts to form one unified structural system. Red iron steel, by comparison, uses I-beams bolted together on site. For a home this size, post frame is the smarter call. It naturally spans an open floor plan without load-bearing interior walls, and because footing, post spacing, and truss design all come from one stamp plan, it avoids the separate foundation engineering step that red iron often requires. Red iron would give us clear spans past 60 feet, genuinely impressive, and genuinely overkill at 1,400 square feet. Post frame is engineered for exactly this kind of build, and it keeps thousands of dollars in the budget instead of the frame. The load question nobody skips: every barndominium also has to be engineered for its local wind and snow loads. This one is designed for standard zone 2 wind pressures, which is why the posts are rated and spaced to the engineer's stamp plan and not just eyeballed. On sites with expansive or clay-heavy soils, posts can shift over time, so engineers address it with concrete collars, piers, or wet-set brackets that decouple the post from ground movement. A detail worth knowing before you ever break ground. Insulation isn't optional on steel because steel conducts heat and cold. This build uses closed-cell spray foam insulation. It seals the envelope and stops condensation from forming on the inside of the metal panels, and on a structure like this, it's genuinely non-negotiable, not an upgrade. Steel also expands and contracts with temperature swings, which stresses fasteners over time, so fastener quality and spacing matter more here than they would on a stick-built home. The stamp that makes it a home, none of this is a guess. Every post spacing, every truss, every footing on this build carries an engineer's stamp. That's what makes a barndominium a permitted home instead of a very nice shed. Step inside, and this is where every engineering choice from the last section pays off. The kitchen quartz counters, matte black hardware, and a full-size island give this kitchen the look of a custom build without the custom price tag. Every cabinet here is stock, the finish is what's doing the work. The vaulted ceiling isn't just for looks. The post-frame roof structure gives us this height at almost no extra structural cost, since the trusses were already engineered to clear-span the room. The wraparound porch outside, a covered wraparound porch, adds real living space for a fraction of what interior square footage would cost. Concrete pad, roof extension, and railing, and suddenly you've got a room you didn't have to insulate or drywall. The exterior standing seam steel roofing and galvalume siding are doing double duty here. It's the modern farmhouse look everyone's chasing right now. And it's also the most durable, lowest maintenance material on the entire build. A house that flexes because there are no load-bearing interior walls. This home can flex office today, gym next year, workshop after that. That flexibility isn't a design flourish. It's a direct result of the structural system from Section 2. This isn't a niche trend anymore. In a national survey on housing preferences, 73% of Americans said they'd consider living in a tiny or small footprint home, citing affordability and simpler living as the top reasons. On the barndo side specifically, plan providers reported barndominium house plan sales climbing from 8% of total plan sales in 2024 to 11% in 2025. Real, measurable growth in a single year. The pull is simple. A standard stick-built home commonly runs well above $150 a square foot, while a standard finished barndominium typically lands in the roughly $65 to $160 per square foot range. When housing costs keep climbing, that gap is hard to ignore. So here's the number everyone's been waiting for: the full itemized budget for this exact 1,400 square foot build. Site prep and the concrete slab foundation come in first at about $8 a square foot for $11,200, grading, a vapor barrier, and the slab pour. The post-frame structural shell posts, trusses, girts, and purlins runs $18 a square foot or $25,200, and that's the engineered stamp system carrying the whole home. Standing seam roofing and galvalume siding add $9 a square foot for $12,600. Windows and exterior doors, sized up for that vaulted great room, run $10 a square foot or $14,000. Closed-cell spray foam insulation adds $4 a square foot for $5,600. Interior wall framing for utility cavities costs $6 a square foot or $8,400. Electrical rough-in, panel, and fixtures come to $7 a square foot for $9,800, and plumbing rough-in and fixtures run the same, another $9,800, covering both bathrooms, the kitchen, and the laundry hookup. HVAC, sized for those tall ceilings, adds $6 a square foot for $8,400. Drywall and interior finish costs $8 a square foot or $11,200. Then the fixed cost items: the kitchen stock cabinets, quartz, the island matte black fixtures. Pendant lighting comes in at a flat $9,500. The 2 full bathrooms add $7,000. Luxury vinyl plank flooring throughout runs $4 a square foot or $5,600. The covered wraparound porch is a flat $6,000. Permits and the engineering stamp add $3,500. And a 2% contingency reserve, $3,000, is built in for material price shifts or change orders. All told, that's $150,800, excluding land purchase, roughly $105 a square foot, and well under our $150,000 target. Honest answer: it depends where you're building. This number sits toward the efficient end of what standard finished post-frame barndos are actually running in 2026. Real-world data puts most standard builds somewhere between $80 and $145 a square foot, depending on region and labor market. So $105 a square foot is achievable, but it reflects a lean, well-managed build in a moderate-cost market, not a national average. Build in a high-cost labor market, and this same home could land closer to $180,000 to $200,000. The line items don't change, the regional multiplier does. Luxury was never about the size of the check. It's about the size of the plan. Every post, every truss, every dollar in this build was doing a specific job, and that's the real difference between a barndominium that feels cheap and one that feels custom. If you want the next build breakdown, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.